Hi there, it's Lori. And here's a story related to the fact that if you watch the Stitcherhood live on Saturday night, or the replay, at Camille's Creations, I've told you before, and it won't be the last time I'm telling you, my head math, if I do it in my head, do not trust it. That's like going to a racing course, a racing place. Wow, that's really specific, right? Where you can place bets. I'm not advising this. That will become very clear. And just doing this and picking one and putting your bet on that. That's about how much you should trust if I just do it in my head. However, if you give me a paper and pencil and something I can write on, I can be a brilliant mathematician. As a matter of fact, I'm not bragging. I did this with a team, but I'm a published mathematician. I'm not even joking. In the Australasian Journal of Combinatorics. And there's really cute pictures in there, like little graphics. It's kind of fun to look at. I don't even like reading it. I'm not going to lie to you. The technical writing was all the professor that was working with me and one other teacher, regular teacher I'll call us, because we both were working toward getting enough master's credits in math to be able to teach at the college level. Anyway, Ryan, Camille's husband, just went through that with history. So if I can write it down, we're good to go. That's not the entirety of this story, but don't trust my head math. And no, I'm not advising you to go gamble either. Anyway, so there was this one time I was in Georgia with my daughter, her husband, and my grandchildren. And my granddaughter and I were sleeping on the fold-out bed because my grandson was tiny, so he was in the bed with his parents or whatever. I don't even remember. But anyway, so I had to go leave the room because I needed to not wake up the grandkids and help this lady that's a friend of my husband's because she was taking stats class. She was taking college stats. And college stats, like college algebra, is one of those classes that's a little bit of a gatekeeper for people actually getting their degree. Stats, if you have someone to explain some of it to you, besides a professor or whatever, is not as difficult. I know how people feel about it. But, I mean, I hated stats when I took it in college. My professor, we nicknamed Dr. Misery. So that should tell you where I was coming from. And then I took a couple courses on how to teach statistics, and I was like, I love this stuff. And I was able to make it relatable and connectable. But I don't do it in my head. If I do it in my head, don't trust it. Anyway, so I didn't have anything to write on. I'm on vacation. So I literally was in the area where they do like the breakfast or whatever at this hotel. Again, to not wake the grandchildren up. And I'm using a hotel pen, and I'm using napkins, and I'm doing all the math on the napkins. And then showing her on Facebook Messenger. True story. I will help you. I will help you. I will help you understand. I will drop everything and help you, because that's how I roll. But don't have me do it in my head, because I will mess it up. I will tell you wrong, and not on purpose. I just genuinely, I don't know what it is. Well, part of it's migraine and migraine meds and all kinds of wonkadoodle stuff there, but I've never been strong at head math. If I can write it down, good as gold. It's just in here. It's a crapshoot. Who knows? Right? Like the game. Oh, I really shouldn't shake my hand like that. Anyway, to yarn management we go. Thank you, Erin. My yarn management is going to shift a little bit this year, as I'm not planning on purchasing yarn unless I need it for a project. I am doing a crochet along with Ladybird Loves. I am going to be using this yarn right here from Deb Morgana. I have 6 of them, I think. This is Color on My Halo. Let me look at the name of it. Magenta and Mandarin, and that is exactly what it is. Mandarin Orange and Magenta. It's on my little yarn genie. Oh, you could win one of these. So you can outer pull. I have at least one of these. I might have 2 of these in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. But none of them are broken, so you're good there too. Mine was broken and I glued it back together. Alright. So, anyway. The ball bands. Let's talk about that first. When I completely finish a ball band, which I should completely finish at least 4 of these. When I completely finish a ball band, I'm going to write the project. This will be my Stitcherhood queen size blanket, number 1. I'm hoping to get at least 3 done, but this will be number 1 on it, and then I'm going to put it in a a big Ziploc. But the more interesting part of my yarn management is what I'm doing with my scraps. I hate how air-filled that is. Hold on. So I have a whole wall of scraps that are small scraps like this. Not so small I want to throw them in my stuffing, and things like white especially get used all the time. So what I'm doing is I am weighing them. Did you hear my cats come running? They just got fed. I love the automated feeder. All right. I'm weighing them on my giant scale, and yes, I'm being funny. The reason I'm weighing them on this little tiny one is this one is far more accurate. I think it goes out to 3 decimal places, so the thousandths place on the grams. That's what I want. So I'm weighing them before I use them. I'm only weighing them before I use them the first time in 2026. So I have some scraps I used on sneak peek. She's amazing. On Moana. She's amazing. Okay. But since I started that in 2025, I'm not going to weigh that scrap and document it until, oh, I forgot to say what I have a whole thing of. I have a whole shoe. I have 2 of them actually, but only one of them is like this size scrap. The other one's bigger scraps. It's like one of those shoe things you hang over the back, over your door. So you can put your shoes on the back side of your door. It's filled with yarn scraps. Again, mostly this size or slightly larger or some slightly smaller. So in this notebook, I'm writing what the yarn is, how much it weighed before, because these 3 that I've written on here, I only used in 2026, I'm making the minion. I neglected to weigh the yellow or the blue before I started, so those scraps, I actually thought I was going to lose at Yarn Chicken on the yellow, and I literally had no more. So luckily I didn't. I did not lose at Yarn Chicken. So they're each going to get documented, and then what it was before, what it was after, what I made with it is going underneath. I probably need more space, but like, for example, this right here, this is 18.69 grams. I forgot the units on this particular one, but I know I was doing everything in grams because you can be more precise with grams. I'm also not going to, I'm not going to do that with my thread. Yes, I used thread on Moana right here. I tried to make little pearls. I'll talk about that on, when will you see that? Friday. Ooh, you won't see that till Friday. Because Tuesday, you'll see Margaret, my chat with Margaret. Songbirds, Creations, and More, Margaret. And then, I thought she was going to have shoes or something. That's why I had the tan down. Anyway, again, I'm not going to weigh the thread unless I'm going to do a larger project, in which case I might weigh it and make sure, you know, how close am I to the ball band, that kind of thing. I don't know what I did with the white ball band. I don't think it was one of these, so I don't know. I don't know what I did with it, but those all need to get put away. That's part of my yarn management. If you didn't know, okay, I'm sorry if it squeaks. They're all up in there. So, and then if they don't fit in there, they go in that shelf right there. There's some thread right there. All right. And then I used, that's the color I used. This is that peacock, I think. Yeah, peacock. That I used for her necklace. Again, I'm going to talk all about that on the Friday video. Here's another thread that I used. This was what I was trying to make the little pearls out of. I was doing Shannon the Spoony Stitcher. Her false French knot. And then I kind of tied it around the string that I tied around her neck. One of them already came off. I'm not sure how long these will last, but they're not essential. But anyway, that will go up in that bag. This will go back in the shoe holder. I'll just show you how many I had. Now, this still needs to be weighed and put in a snack bag. That's what these are. These are the little snack Ziplocs. You can see why I thought I was going to run out. Because the minion, oh, is he over here? Or did I already take him over to the bedroom to pack him away? Where is Kevin? Oh, Kevin's right there. Hold, please. I made sure to unpause it this time. So I got here and I was like, oh, we got to run out because I didn't know how much longer he was, but we're good. This is Kevin. This is the last of the 3 minions that I needed to make for my stepdaughter in California's partner. So He really likes the minion. I saw a minion tie, and I think that would be really funny to send to him next year, so I might do it. They had minion hats too. I know Michelle Plays Hooky likes to do some funny hats. But anyway, I started with a little more than double that. But again, I didn't weigh it. My bad. So the yellow will get weighed and put in the book, but it won't get counted, even though it should have been counted, because I want to not just keep track of when I use a full band, but I use a lot of scraps. I want to kind of know how much am I using. I also used this here. I used some of this. Did I weigh it? No. But I used some of this. This might be the neutral, because I have a whole full ball. This might be the neutral I hold with the mini hanks. Fiber Spider said, Craig said on It's Raining Yarn Russ, on a live with him, somebody asked, Craig, what did you do with your mini hanks? And Craig said he turned it all into one big magic cake, like tied them all together in magic cake, and then held it with a neutral. And I thought, that's a really nice neutral. It's tans and whites. Do I love this yarn? No. Do I hate this yarn? No. I just have to use a lot of lotion when I use this yarn, for whatever reason. It's almost like, it almost feels oily, but then it dries out your skin. Or it's probably a Colorado problem, honestly. But it works up nice. That was the background of the animal blanket, not that colorway, but that same type of yarn. And then there's another one of these that needs to get put away. This is not the one Missy stole, but I found one of these, so I can send this to my dad and sister, because I know they need one of these every year. But since Yarn Management is Crafting Kitty, Yarn Management Monday is Crafting Kitty, her concept, her creator spotlight is Ophelia Talks, and Ophelia Talks has a scrubby that's flat and then has a loop. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of those with this yarn. Because again, this, do I have it close by? No. This Stitch Soak scrub yarn is not cheap. And so I want to get as many scrubbies out of it as I possibly can. So that's going to Oregon for my dad and my sister. I want to mention the one that looks like Flynn this was from Shannon the Spoony Stitcher. She sent me these no snag, and they do not snag. I love the way they slide in. They're not hooked or clamped. These are amazing. Amazing. Highly recommend. I know January 17th is some kind of sale day. But anyway. Oh, Creator Spotlight. Creator Spotlight this month is Ophelia Talks. I don't think I said that. So I was looking through what kind of things does Ophelia Talks have that is kind of small, because I got a lot going on in January. I didn't even get through my week. This is all stuff that needs to be put away. Nope, I can't reach that. So Ophelia Talks had that scrubby, and she was using scrubby yarn in it. I will be using Stitch Soak Scrub. It's kind of basically what I do if I crochet that, but it's just one side and then the loop. So, which is good, because then it can dry out, right? All right, so yarn management, this is my plan for 2026. All the ball bands, when they're all the way done, will get put into a bag, a big Ziploc with what I made with it, because I don't trust that I will remember. Now, scraps are getting documented when I'm using scraps on. So, like I said, the yellow will just get weighed now. I know that's probably normally quantity that would just go in, stuff it in your amigurumis, but I literally, that's all I have of it. So that's a nice accent yellow. Anyway, I think that's it. The Stitcherhood queen size blankets, if you're interested, information is always in my description box. Yeah, that might be it. Oh, so Tuesday you're going to meet Margaret, if you don't already know Margaret. Wednesday, I am doing Battle of the Stitches in January. So Wednesday will be this week will be my tutorial on what's called the turtle stitch. So that's why Wednesday will get taken up. Thursday will be throwback. You'll get to see the first item I crocheted in 2022, which is a cute little pair of baby booties that look like cowboy boots. They're so flippin' cute. And I'll talk about them. Friday will now be like finished objects. It might be whips as well, since Wednesdays is going to be Battle of the Stitches stuff. So that's why I don't foresee doing two 2 chats or 2 conversations with channels a week this month because my Battle of the Stitches. I just need to be able to put other content out. But I am going to keep that going, even though right now it's the journey to 1,000 subscribers, which I'm going to put a poll out on my posts here soon asking when you would like me to do the live for giveaways. I have some international giveaways in there. There's at least 3. So I'm gonna put what time, and I'll put it in terms of Eastern Standard Time. I think that's the easiest for the world to like adjust their time to. So if I put it Eastern Time, everybody can figure out where it is. I have a weird shadow on my face. Sorry about that. Anyway, is that everything? If it's not, oh well. Oh, I'm shifting. Once it's not the journey to 1,000, it will be chats with channels. There's a channel that I want to interview, and it's not necessarily part of my 1,000, but that way I can kind of make it an ongoing thing. Chats with channels for casual, but same idea. It would be recorded, not lives. But also later in the week, presumably, I guess Friday. Oh, maybe Saturday. Saturday might be Happy Mails. I got Fiber Floozy Jill. I got some Happy Mail from her, so I will open that for you. Anyway, a lot going on. So, thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? And hugs to you all, or whatever kind of hug you need. Here's your side hug, Chuck. Thanks for coming in. Bye.